Good morning from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well, of course. I'm down here doing a podcast today. Maybe I might put it up later on today, at the latest tomorrow morning. Not to be missed. But following on from the drama of the attack on 97-year-old legendary paedophile, sex offender, stroke monster, whatever you want to call him in bad terms, they're all about right. So we got attacked, but we're not going to go into that just yet. We look back in history at this, I suppose we could say, a conspiracy theory of some kind, but I'm believing that there could be a little bit of truth in this. Now, look back to when Leslie Bailey got murdered in Whitemore, right, in 1993. He got put under a bed. He was Sidney Cooke's co-defendant. Now, also there was another geezer who got found not guilty, who was around them on the outside during that sad case and the murder and abuse of Jason Swift all those years ago. I'm sure his name was Thompson, and I'm sure he got a knock on his front door after getting a not guilty on that case when he should have been convicted with them lot, right? Because there's quite a few of them Sidney Cooke co-defendants or associates in the same kind of capacity. Someone knocked on the door and blew his head clean off, right? So he got murdered, definitely. Now, I always used to hear that there was an East London gangster that was pretty unhappy or had relations to maybe a couple of the victims that put hits out on them all. But listen, at that time when Leslie Cat Weasel got murdered in Whitemore in 1993, right? Quote me a year or a couple of months in between, I don't know. But what you didn't know was that in the same week, Sidney Cooke got attacked in Albany at that time, right? So we got hit with a big kosh, but managed to squirm and crawl on the floor and get down to the other end of the landing and get behind his door and somehow lock it. So we got lucky that time. So that was that occasion. That's definitely 100% fact, right? Most people would be able to tell you that from the system, even prison officers as well. But look, it's not the first time Sidney Cooke's given it the big one and, come under some kind of verbal attack or over the years. He's still trying to get out now. I'm sure they're waiting every year for him to go on parole to get released, but they're just hoping that he's going to drop dead so they don't have to release him, right? Look, it's all right, we've got to mind what we say, but I'm not going to hold back. He's 97 years old. In reality, everyone believes, most normal people will believe that he should never be released, but I think they're playing it smart in the system as well. But the other question you're asking me is the man that was protecting him during this recent attack, right? What's going to happen to him for saving Sidney Cooke for a minute or after or in between, whatever way it was said? Now, nothing, because they all live amongst each other, and it would be that Sidney Cooke started this argument and then it come on top for him in that way, and then he got done over. He was already walking around those sex offender wings day in and day out before this happened. And the other person involved in what I just told you that might have come to his rescue to save an elderly man or whatever it was, he's been bopping around for things. So the possibilities that something might happen or not happen to him will be the same for all of them and every single one of them on there. So a little bit brief of history, but not many of those co-defendants of Sidney Cooke are actually alive. I've got a funny feeling that he is the last one standing. Will he ever get released from prison? No, I don't believe he will.